Great. Cam, welcome back to the Australian PGA Championship. You're our defending champion. It's fabulous to have you here. Nice to be back. What have the feelings been like?
Yeah, it's been pretty cruisy really since I've been up here. Got in yesterday morning, did the tag stuff there for Challenge, which was nice. A family and I rent a place every time we're down here, so just got back to the house last night and a bit of dinner and an early night, so very cruisy so far.
And are you feeling confident ahead of your title defence? You've played the last few weeks, you've been playing some nice golf?
Yeah, I have been playing some good golf. I think last week was really important. Just playing with Mark and having someone there that it affects as well. I think maybe the last couple months or so I've been playing really good golf, but I've probably been on the aggressive side, maybe a little bit too much, and last week was a nice reminder, having someone hitting your next shot that, just sometimes being in the middle of the greens and having 20-30 feet is the best option, so I'll definitely take a lot from last week.
Questions, Jim?
Cam, you've played some holes this morning, or are you going out this afternoon?
No, I know the course pretty good, so I'm just going to play the Pro-Am tomorrow. I'm just going to do some practice this afternoon, just basically loosen up. I'm not practicing anything in particular or trying to get rid of a shot or anything. Just trying to get out there and just play some shots on the range, I think.
Was it last year Jordan Zunic was ahead and you made a really good strong move on Sunday and won it well? Was there a particular hole or shot that you were really proud of last year that just showed you had that sort of Sunday mettle to get the job done? One you still recall?
I remember that putt on 13, I think. 13, I think it is, the par 4 out the back. Yeah, I made that putt, and I knew as soon as we made that it was go time. So that one really stands out for me. It was probably a hit or miss type of thing. If I miss that, then I'm still a couple back going into the last 4 or 5 holes, and a lot of ground to make up. So that one went in. I knew we were on.
Jimmy.
Last week, how important a week is that for you to sort of stand up as one of the top Australian players? All the players know you're one of the best we've got, but did that sort of prove to yourself a little bit that you're in that top class with Leash and Jace and Adam?
Not really, I suppose. I've been playing really good all year, basically, the last couple of years, and I compete with those guys every week, and it's not that I don't think there's necessarily a group of us that are like that's what we are. I think we're all just good competitors, and we love. The good thing about Australian golfers is we love seeing everyone play well, and when Leash is playing well, I'm out there supporting him. Same goes to Scotty and Jace. I want them to win, and not many other countries have that culture, so it's nice, and it's nice that we're all backing each other up, trying to make each other better.
Aussie Open, your last round was obviously really good, but there was a little bit of patchy form in there. What's been the difference between the really good golf of late and the little bit sort of just slightly back of that?
I think what I was saying to Liv just before is probably because I have been playing really good golf and I feel really confident in myself. Being a little bit too aggressive, I think, was the problem. I tend to play 3 or 4 holes really well, and then just hit a bit of a poor shot, and playing too aggressively, leave yourself on the wrong side of the hole, and making it so hard on yourself. It was just like I said, it was just a good last week for me to realise, having Leash there hitting the next shot, I didn't want to put him in one of those situations, and I now realise, I think, that I don't want to put myself in those situations. So a bit of a a bit of a step back, I guess, but definitely a learning curve.
Brent.
Cam, Jeff Ogilvy was in here a second ago and he was giving you all sorts of raps. One thing he did say is that he can see you as a top 10 player in the world.
Oh, really?
Soon, right?
Thanks, Jeff.
I imagine in your mind, though, that's a goal. You'd want to achieve that. Do you have a time frame on when that you would like to see that happen, or when you think you might be capable of making it that high?
Not really, no. My next goal for myself is to make myself a top 20 player in the world. I've made myself a top 50 player in the world, which was a goal for the last couple of years. Finally got that done earlier this year. And I don't know, it seems like everything's just happening so quickly, so I'm not sure when it's going to happen. Obviously getting that far up is a really big step and something that I want to do, but definitely not a time frame thing. I'm just trying to make myself better, every day, and if it happens, it happens.
Sinead.
Cam, you've just explained that you've set yourself long-term goals. What about the short-term? How do you see the next 6 months, both in terms of your playing schedule, but maybe targeting one specific event?
Obviously the majors and WGCs and stuff like that are important to me, but I try not to treat them any differently to any other week. I don't prepare any different. I don't do anything the week before. I don't eat any differently. I don't, I just try and do the same thing every week. I go out there on Monday and Tuesday, play 9 holes, if I can, play the Pro-Am, and then just keep it light and easy during the tournament weeks, and go out there pretty relaxed and try and that the start for me, I think this year has been, the Thursdays have been a little bit inconsistent, so if I can get out there on the Thursdays and post a pretty good number, I think I'll be in good stead for a couple of chances hopefully.
Phil.
Cam, g'day. Just wondering, just interested to know what role Adam Scott's had in your career. Obviously he's another Queenslander. Mm-hmm. Was he a guy that you wanted to emulate or looked up to, or can you even remember where you first bumped into him on a golf course?
First time I played with him was actually down here in Melbourne at the Aussie Masters a few years ago. Him and I think it was Bryson actually. Yeah, we all played together and met Scotty there. And I was in the Masters the next year, and he gave up a spot. Oh, he gave up a spot in his practice round and said if you wanted to go out and have a hit, and it never really worked out that week. Didn't realise how busy the week kind of was, and but he's always around. And he's always, like I said, all the Aussie guys have been great throughout my whole, kind of upbringing, I guess, on the PGA Tour. They've all been, you want to practice round, you want to have some dinner, whatever it is. They've all been fantastic.
Jimmy.
Your wedge game's one of the best in the world. Is that one of the reasons you play so well around here, which can be quite tricky with the Bermuda grass and the grainy sort of lies and everything like that? Is that why you play so well at Royal Pines?
Yeah, it does get a little bit tricky around here, around the greens. I think it definitely doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt any week to have a nice short game, and I practice most of my time on the practice fairway is around the greens and putting and stuff like that. So it's something that I like to do. I like to be creative, and this golf course allows you to be creative. Heaps of swales, and you have to hit plenty of shots along ridges and backstops and stuff like that. And I love doing that stuff. I think it's so fun, and that's it.
And is Pinners just having today off or having the week off?
No, he was down there before. I went the other way. He was waiting out the front, and I went the back way.
Brent.
Cam, one of the things Jeff mentioned, and I think we've all noticed, it's a pretty unflappable guy, right? Your temperament, you don't seem to sway a whole lot in terms of moods. What sends you rogue? When do you lose it? What do you lose it at?
Nothing quite makes me as angry as going into a servo and having a cold pie. That's no.
That's a great
Brent actually hates pies and
you
campaigns
don't
for a
like
pie
pies?
ban in the media centre.
Oh no!
It drives me insane.
No.
You don't have to answer. Don't answer the question.
So smell the smell in a cold pie?
No, nothing much bothers me on the golf course, to be honest. I've kind of realised that golf is such an up and down game and getting angry and slamming clubs, and sure I have my moments. Everyone does, but it doesn't do anything for your golf game. It definitely doesn't make you better off.
Did you have a moment? Because I had a moment where I threw a club and almost hit someone, right? So I made a pact with God. It was like 15 years ago. I said, I'll never throw a club again. Did you have a moment where you went, I need to change? Or have you always been that?
I've always been, maybe not so much as a junior. I think everyone goes through their stage, going through that. Golf is such a frustrating game, but I think it's just time. It takes you, some guys it takes longer than others, and I just realised that it does nothing for my golf game. It makes me worse off 100%. So, my caddy Sam does such a good job of, bringing me back down to stuff like that as well when he sees me a bit temperamental.
Yeah, on that, I guess, that other side of life, I know you like your cars and you fly drones, don't you? A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So there's a few things going on there that keep you away from the course. How do you balance that side of life, especially now that the stakes are kind of getting higher on the course over the last sort of 12 months?
Yeah, that's always been one of Grant has always said, my coach has always said that's always been one of my best attributes. As soon as I get off the golf course, I couldn't care less what has happened on the golf course that day. I think that has helped me out tremendously, especially with how much pressure is dealt on the PGA Tour. Stressing to make a cut or stressing to make a putt and stuff like that, and then to get off the golf course, completely forget about it and just go about your normal life, I guess is huge.
Did your Subaru live in Brisbane?
Yeah.
So have you been driving it around this week, or?
I didn't bring it down this week, no. It's too loud.
Do you miss it when you're away?
Yeah, it's my baby. Yeah.
Sinead.
Cameron, once the wind comes up here, obviously the course plays significantly differently. This year they've had some difficulty getting the greens ready.
Okay.
There was some damage to the edges with weed killer.
Oh.
Have you taken a look at it, and do you think, I don't know whether you've seen it, but do you think it would add to the significant difficulty around the greens?
Yeah. That's where, if you miss a green, that's where you're trying to basically land your second shot. So yeah, they'll definitely throw a spinner in the works, I'm sure. I personally haven't been out. I know Sam Pinner went out this morning, had a walk around. I'll ask him about it, but yes.
So you know nothing about it?
Not yet, no. I'll tell you more tomorrow.
Do we have any more questions for Cam? No? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Best of luck with your title defence.
Thank you.